Stern indeed seems the great law, yet it is a rock of triumph to those who understand the reason behind the creation of all known laws, including those beloved ones which are not known by mankind, but still very much in evidence in the manifest control of the vital functions of nature, involving man and the entire cosmos. Be grateful, beloved ones, for the exactitude of the law, for the qualities of the law are the sustaining momentum that radiates forth eternal love from the first moment of creation unto the present one. In all of its ongoingness, life is not intended to be aught else save a crystal flowing stream, a stream of pure truth that God did not intend to be muddied up by vile human concepts. Yet mankind, in their search for selfhood, have constantly tumbled into that stream of life those residual manifestations of thought and feeling, which are, in effect, their own externalization without being their own. Thus the stream of consciousness and events is muddied up by mankind again and again. But the end is not yet. For the kingdom of heaven, envisioned by God himself, and by those great ones in whom he has vested so much eternal wisdom through the ages, does provide for a change in mankind's affairs that shall usher in the beauty and bounty of the universal era of God delight. Rejoice then and be glad that life is, for not in the appearance world shall mankind find salvation, but in the all-wise exactitude of the inner law of their being, an exactitude that from time to time is shunned by mankind. They say it does not bring them comfort. In reality, it brings them the greatest comfort of perfection. Outer indulgences, beloved ones, do not produce the joys and reality of the kingdom. Instead, blight is born, and all manner of stirring up, whereby this and that faction of creation must, by reason of the misuse of these laws, be involved in constant conflict with other parts of life. Conflict is within the individual, and thus is exuded from him. But when you find a man of peace, one whose impassioned search for truth involves recognition of the intent of the Godhead, you will find a man of peace, a woman of peace, dedicated to the realization by mankind of the great radiance of the Elohim of peace. The raging seas and torment that seizes mankind's mind and being, producing yet more torment, will never produce the fruit of holy joy. For holy joy is dependent upon a divine relation, the establishment of the fruit of the Spirit in the temple of men's lives, within the temple of their thoughts and their feelings, thoughts that are God-like, summoned from the fortress of truth, and ever living to cast no stone of stumbling before the gaze of any. I seek this day in recreating matrices of God beauty deep within your enfolding consciousness, to bring to you vital and living awareness of the promises of God that have never been broken. He has said, I will set the flame of my being within the heart of man, within the mind of man, and within his soul. I will kindle the spark of myself within his soul. I will be a living witness unto mankind. And these things are written in the tablets of Mem, from whence came the ancient words Mem-ori, or the power to recreate those godlike pillars that stood at the gateway to the temple of truth in bygone years. I am Pallas Athena. My will is wholly resigned to the will of God. It is a matter of reassigning mankind's attention, for this is exactly what has been done in my life, is to reassign my attention from human priorities to divine ones. Those who would follow in my footsteps, who would recognize the importance of ever-living truth, will see the need of vital before them to coincide the fruit of their inner activities of thought and feeling with the cosmic loom of life, that their weavings be ungnarled or imperfect no longer, but instead weavings of virtue and holiness, weavings of Christ's righteousness, creating a domain of truth and joy unto all peoples. Thus shall the kingdom of God, now a-borning, be again the fabric of adorning, lifting hearts and minds of light to the strength that's in the right. For truth is born today, tonight, and fills each heart with all delight in God, the God of truth that stands before the whole earth. Ye are my witnesses, he has said. Are there greater witnesses than those that are found in the open doorway, revealing yourself as you are? And does not life provide, in its ongoingness and movement, for you to change into the purity of God in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, when the last trump has sounded in human affairs, and the living truth of God stands a blazing witness to his radiance. This I am, this ye are. This all men are. And as they affirm it in their God presence, so will the knowledge of God cover the earth as the sea covers the dry land. I am Pallas Athena. My blessing is to be found within the cords of truth that bind men unto God eternally. I thank you.